Okay, doke. Another video. Oops, of course I bang everything. Progress. Alright. Put my other glasses on. I finally figured out where I'm going to put the strobe unit. I've decided to use the big one because the other one is too complicated to dig out of the other airplane. Strobe unit will go here underneath the battery. Here's my stick. I did a little bit of a recess. There's plenty of foam underneath. I will probably coat this with my goo glue. I use this stuff for everything. Really great glue. Does not melt really any foams. My ABS, that's it. It is made with shoe goo. Okay, it's you can do either way. For a thin mix, you do 60% toluene and 40% glue from the tube. If you want it thicker, it's 60% goo glue and 40% toluene. And toluene is known in the state of California for causing cancer. So just breathing the air will do that. So, like I said, you know, I'm going to line it with some glue. It'll get a little bit more toughness on there in case something, the stick hits it or something. I mean, who knows? So it's going to work out pretty good. It's going to go under here, I mean in here, and the lines will probably go under the flight controller because there's space under the flight controller. Okay, which is good. Okay, well, we might as well show this. I have the battery is now in the right place as far as the connectors are concerned, and I've you know, fixed or plugged it in. Speed controller works. Get the beeps, not the confirmation that it's connected to a flight controller, but it works. It's good. I also tested the BEC that comes off of this, and it is a steady 3.3, so that's a great thing. Okay. So the strobes, like I said, well, one more thing. This is the step down, which will be used for the 5-volt bus for the servos and the strobe unit. The GPS, like I said, is 3.3, and we can't forget about the compass. And I have heard people say, even Powell, I do believe, he says it will be more accurate if you use one of these. You don't need to. I have it. Why not? $9.95 I paid for it. So I'm going to use it. And I'm probably not going to take it out of the plane to run GPS because I think it's just better to you. Why not? You know, you have the thing, might as well use it. Okay, so everything's been shortened. The leads on the battery has been shortened. I still don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm probably just going to clip it now. There's no reason to keep it, just extra weight. Because I have the power. The power is all sorted now. Okay. Like I said, the VCC is going to probably come off of this here. I'm just going to tack on a line for the flight controller off of that. So that comes directly from the battery. Although I could run VCC to this. Yeah, I don't know. Why keep the weight? Because I'm adding weight, you know. So, all right. Of course, you know, once you get a few things in, you've got other things that are big and honking. Okay, now it's a honking strobe unit, and I've heat shrunk it so I can glue it in and remove it without destroying the unit. This is where of course, the lines will be soldered to positive, negative. And like I said, I'm going to do a slice all the way down the leading edge and come to the point, and that's probably the best way to do it. And just embed the wires. Okay. And the strobons, of course, the bigger chips will be out at the tips. So that's cool. And I have, of course, some more wiring to do with the flight controller. That's going to be last and a final. Then, of course, you got to figure a beeper. You got to have a beeper. I mean, this thing's going to be so small that, you know, it's going to get lost. If it goes in some tall grass somewhere, you are not going to find it. But this thing is huge, and it, God, I don't even know what it weighs, but it weighs. So what am I going to do with that? I don't know yet. And then we got this. I got to run a capacitor. Where am I going to put that? There's a lot of foam everywhere, so I don't know. Maybe I can push the capacitor, burn a hole in the side, and push it in there, and just use some leads to come off. But they say you can't do too far with these if you're going to use leads because it causes resistance, and it doesn't get the best use out of it. That's what I was told. So the servos are going to have to be, well, what I've decided to do, like I said, this is going to be the bus for the servos. I'm not going to make a plug-in. Why? You know. So I'm going to basically connect the positive and negative for the servos to this, and the positive negative to this, and then the signal wires are going to have their own little connectors. Okay, instead of making all, you know, 3, 6, 9, 9, you know, 9 lines going to one, or to one little bus. Actually what that'll do is that'll free up the space back here, which is where I probably could put the capacitor. I may be able to put, no, I'm thinking about it. I may be able to put the beeper right there, just melt a hole there and push her down, and then to just modify the canopy. Okay. So that looks good. So anyways, this is going to go, that's going to go there. This is going to go here. And when I was doing my battery, of course, you know, you touch the wires a little bit, and I ticked them, and it's it was swelling before I did it. And this one, the new other one, of course, is perfectly flat. So it doesn't matter. It'll work for now. I don't care. But once you click them a little bit, they start to gain internal resistance, and then they go bad. But when you buy two batteries, two for the price of one, they always give you a shitty one. Don't forget that whenever you buy multiples, especially on eBay. Every time. Every time. Oh, 2 batteries for $35. Yeah, no problem. One of them's a piece of shit. Okay, so like I said, connectors are all in the proper place. It's adjusted so that when you put the battery in, it'll click into there. And also, this guy is going to be, I'm probably going to put it upside down. I got to heat shrink it still. I got to put the wires on it, but it's going to be there. Okay, or actually it's going to come up to right there. Right there is where it's going to be. Oops, this goes like that. There we go. So that's it. So this is going to be permanent. This thing is going to, the current sensor is going to be permanent and glued in. That way I can just go put the battery in, click that, ready to fly. Okay, that's good. Okay. And then the servos are going to be tested. I have to glue, of course, glue them in, or they got to be adjusted. They're angled kind of weird. I got to make sure everything's square. Make sure that everything's 90 degrees with the horn. And you do that with this. This is my little homemade servo tester, power supply with a LiPo on the inside, voltage regulator, everything. Yes, it's still registering. Who knows what it's putting out? I have to check it, make sure. It's been in there a long time, battery. So that's what that is. So that way I can get this working. The GPS I will probably power from the board. With the ground, everything from the board, because I found that the best way to get the GPS to work properly is to ground and power everything from the board. The magnetometer, okay, very nice and small. Got to figure out, it's got arrows, got to figure out which way it goes. It's going to go in the top of the canopy, right where the little circle is. And the power for that is most likely going to come off of the speed controller, because why not? I don't have to solder something else to the board or double it up. You could solder both powers, but I don't know. I think that I've done that before, and one of them won't work because the power draw is not enough for the board to handle, or there's, who knows, but sometimes it just does not work. Okay, so I don't do that. Okay, so I figured out that this is the proper, for this. This is going to be probably one of the last things I do. Fine, this is a whole job in itself. Okay. Okay, that plus the screen on the top and all that. That's a whole job. And I have to put some glue in there to strengthen things because I've chopped up. And I have to relieve the canopy on this side for this and this side for that, so that it goes flat. Because everything I want to go perfectly flat to engage the magnets, and I may put 2 more in the back. No problem. Maybe a piece of safety tape in the front. The battery is going to be held in. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Now I do have I decided to do it anyways, but I did put the plastic hooks in the bottom for the weight and balance. And hopefully they won't get knocked off. If they do, I don't care. So what? Okay. They're rare. I can't find them. I looked for them today at CVS Pharmacy. I could not find them. I'll have to order them online. I'm sure I can find them online. Okay. So, well, that's about it. So next thing is going to be, of course, I may permanently mount this and this there. It's ready to go. Once I do the current lead, or I'm sorry, the VCC off of that, because that's logical. It's nice and short right there. Let's see. So yeah, I'm going to permanently, of course, I'm going to permanently glue this guy in. But I don't know. I can't do that yet until I got to get the lines on the leading edge, because I can't get the soldering iron close to the foam. It's going to turn it into mush. So yeah, and then of course, like I said, there's the antenna, and I'm going to coil it, and I'm definitely going to put it right here, right there. It's going to be really cool. I'm going to coil it. If I have to relieve this a little bit, I will. I'm going to coil it and poke a hole through that sucker, and it's going to go just like that, right in the back, right in the motor. Perfect, because in the center of the wing, the aerodynamics does not matter, especially right near the prop. It does not matter. It's not going to affect anything. This will affect things. So, you know, that's going to go right behind the board for the video. And that is it. Everything, all the components are listed in links in the description of the videos. So if you want to buy anything or do any of this, you know, most people would, of course, look at this and say, oh, well, you know, you're overdoing it. But you know what? Hey, the real purpose to do this is a test to see if I can get something small to work with a full iNav, because I have some set of plans for small aircraft that look like birds. What better way to fly your FPV when somebody thinks it's a bird? They'll leave you alone, right? And I will show pictures and video of that soon. Maybe a separate video of why I'm doing this. Okay? And they make very big ones too, like eagles, really cool. And even pterodactyls. Anyways, that's it for now.